Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I am back with a little bit of a different video because it was requested recently by a few people to show what I mean when I said that I'd put my papers into kits. I said recently that I have had a big de-stash, I've had a big sort out, and the way that I have decided to organise my papers is to make them into kits. I do still have some paper pads here, which are big 12x12 ones, and I also have over here some 6x6 paper pads. And when I come to make a collection and pack up, as I said, I've been storing them in these baggies. These are actually just the crop bags from Studio Calico that they used to do. My zips are mostly broken on these now, but I find them really good for, you know, making these kind of kits together. And this one is actually the kit that I used recently when I was at a friend's, and I just picked this up. And this one is a slightly different kit to the ones I made up because it contains an assortment of embellishments here. It's got some washi tape, but it's also got some 6x6 paper pads in. And so this is not something I always do when I put together a collection, but sometimes I will look at you know, what kind of papers I've got and see what matches up. And really there's no secret to putting these together. I just kind of pull a load of stuff that I like. I'm going to show you this one because this is one I've actually been working from. In here I've just got a load of die cuts. I don't, as I said, as a rule, put in my embellishments. But in here, as I've been working, I've got a few kind of different bits and pieces. These are all from kits. And then I've got some overlays, I've got some 3x4 cards. So this is just a real mixed bag. This is actually a result of me, you know, using this kit to make layouts. I've got these stickers in, so I've got some washi tape. And I also just shoved all my scraps back in here. I shared this on a layout recently using this. When I gut out my papers, I tend to keep these. I love this piece of paper from the Pier collection. So I've got that, I've got offcuts of different bits and pieces there. And then this is a real mixed kit here. And I really my initial thing was to kind of pick the teals out of this. And then a few other things got chucked in. So I said this is a real mixed bag, and a lot has been used from this, and my kits can vary from putting like 3 or 4 pieces of paper together to sort of 10 pieces of paper together. So this one is a lot more, and I'm just going to lay it out with the interest. Some of these have been taken from the 12x12 paper pads. Some of them, I mean, I've talked about this one quite a lot recently. This is the little back dress. I love this paper, and I've been hoarding it for yonks. 2011 I brought that. Again, this is another little black dress, and sometimes you know, my kits will be just like from a collection pack, so it'll be using lots of bits and pieces, and other times it will be, you know, bits that aren't from a collection pack. This again is a piece of paper I've used for quite a few embellishments. This is a fancy pants piece of paper. I've got here a bit of that Pow glitter paper, and this is in charcoal. This one, again, there's not really any rhyme or reason to this. Again, this is a piece of Dear Lizzie vellum, which is teal, which brings out the teal that's in this. Another piece of vellum here. This is My Mind's Eye confetti vellum. Another offcut here of some teal paper that I used. There's actually quite a lot of cardstock in here because, again, that's another colour part piece. The cardstock I didn't actually end up using. I do tend to put a few bits of cardstock in each of these kits because I know if I get stuck I've always got some cardstock. Chuck this piece of Golden Craft in here. This is a piece of the Atlantic collection. I love this piece of paper. I bought 3 pieces of this. Again, I've got newer and older pieces. This is a piece from the last Chamel collection. Mainly picked for this side, but you know, bear in mind when you're picking your kits, you've got the kind of 2 sides. Again, this is a Chamel piece, not so much for this side, but for this neutral side. Again, this piece is from the Open Book. I love this kind of brighter colour, but I also have this quite pale side. And as you can kind of see left from this kit, I've got more of like the cardstocks and the paler bits and pieces of paper. Again, this beautiful deep wood grain. This is a very old 2012 Lily Bee Designs. Lovely dark wood grain on it. Another piece of transparency, and this is a Teresa Collins piece from the Vintage Finds, and again I can use this as an embellishment because this is covered in tiny words. or I've got this side. So as you can see, this is kind of quite a muted sort of tones. I've kind of actually used the more brighter tones from this. But if I was to use these kind of more muted tones, I can then pull from these paper pads. So this is a cream base, and these paper pads are cream base. I have got a white piece of cardstock in here, and I've got kind of this more white embellishment. But I do like to think about cream and white base. So in here, I could pick any of these patterns here to just take that piece of larger paper and use a 6x paper pad. Again, the same with this. It's got sort of similar tones in again on the cream. And then this is the I Am collection. Again, which would mix with those because it's kind of cream. There is some white in this, but there's also the cream base as well. So that is, as I said, a working kit that I've got going. I'm still going to kind of be using this up, and that's why I've added these 6x6 paper pads, because I've got a lot of the more neutral sort of background papers left, and just a load of embellishments. But I know that picking this up, I could go, you know, and craft for an evening somewhere and have enough papers in here to make sort of probably about 6 or 7 layouts. So that's going to kind of be that kit. So I wanted to sort of share that one with you. And then I want to share a few. I've just grabbed these off the bags on my sort of shelf. And I'm just going to grab these. Okay, so this is typically kind of like a kit that I put together whilst sorting through my stash. And I have got some cardstock, which I will show you in a moment. And as I said, sometimes I keep collections together and sometimes I don't. This piece is a piece of Bella Boulevard from the colour Chaos. I've got this lovely black and white stripe, or there is this blue that says We Are Family on it. But really, when I'm looking at it for making my kit, I've picked out this black and white. Then this is another piece from the colour Chaos. This has the 3x4 cards, which I love. I love the kind of sentiments. It does also have this broad stripe on the back. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, I love this bright green. This bright green is really speaking to me. So what I then did is I looked through my papers as I was sorting and kind of found other bits that kind of grabbed me. This is a offcut of a very old, pretty thin piece of paper actually. But this green is like perfect. It really works really well. I do want to just apologise, it's like the sun is like shining through my window, which I shouldn't, you know, apologise for, but it does make the video a little bit annoying. So I pulled this out, which is an old piece, and this is a ledger. This brown doesn't go so well, but this kind of bit would be great for a journaling block. So I've pulled that out to add in. Then I pulled out this piece of paper. This is the Happy Camper Stew from Jilly Bean Soup. And I don't necessarily think about a kit or any photos that I'm actually going to scrap for this. I'm literally just putting papers together. So, you know, of course this has then got this green coming out through this paper. It's also got this teal, and it's got the orange, and it's got the pink. So this kind of piece of paper, even though they're from different collections, can work really well. I'm aware that this is a cream rather than a white, but again, using this as like a bridging paper, that could work quite well. On this side you have got this yellow gingham, and again there is yellow in here, so I'm not sure I could possibly do it. I could sacrifice this whole piece of paper for this as a background, or I could use this as a border and actually cut the middle out so I can still use some of these really cute caravans and trailers. So that is another piece that I've pulled. Again, another piece of paper. This is from the Raven collection from Glitz, and I pulled this because of the black and white, because that's going to work brilliantly. There is also this grey in that colour Chaos, and this is a grey wood grain, and I love wood grain. So I pulled that in because, again, that could easily work through. Then I've got a really old piece of paper, which is from 2011, and this is this travel themed one. And the reason that I pulled this piece of paper, not only because of like the travelling kind of collection goes together, I can pick this green out with the cars. I've got this teal, but I've got teal and black here, and I love this piece of paper. I brought it because last time we went away, which is in 2012, we went to Los Angeles and we went to San Francisco. So I thought I could somehow use this. I love this kind of like time strips and stuff, and the trains and the planes. I really love this, and I have 3 sheets of this paper, so yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to use them up. The reverse of this is this sort of airmail kind of stripe look, and I wouldn't automatically go for this, but there is some red in this paper and some cream, so I could in a way get that to work, but that's mainly the side that I pulled it for. And again, I'm not pulling this thinking this is going to be like a load of travel themed layouts, but that's just kind of where my brain's working. Let me just turn that one over because that's just making my eyes hurt. Then this piece is a piece from a Studio Calico kit, and it's pulling in this camera, which is black and white camera on black camera on white, which of course is going to pair in with all of these. And this is not necessarily a camera I'd cut out because it's quite small motif, so that would make a really good background. And on this side I've got a very small blue arrow, and even this border strip would work in well. So again, it's picking up the teal that's in here, or the blue that's in here and in here and in this one. And again, this, because it's got a cream striping, could work across all of those. And then this piece of paper is from Simple Stories Life Documented, and again, this is more thinking about elements that I could pick out. On the back I've got this blue and cream stripe, which again could pick up the blue here from this train paper. So I think it could kind of work with that paper particularly, but also this paper I could pick this green out for the cameras to kind of map everything in. And what I would say is, once I've kind of made a layout or a couple of layouts with this kit, I would then maybe just put it in a bag. I kind of not, because I've not kind of done it yet, but I think what I do is I'll then put all these kind of half-used kits like that one I just showed you, and then readdress them and kind of rejumble the papers together. I did just pull some cardstock to go in with here, and again, this is mainly thinking like mounting layouts on, because you guys know I like to mount my photos and my layouts. I picked this green cardstock. These are just assortment of cardstocks, American Crafts, and bits that come in kits. I picked this pink out, again, so I can pick the pink out of this paper, or this caravans, and then I pulled in 2 sheets of white. We all know I'm not a lover of the white paper. So that is the first kit I want to show you, and you can kind of hopefully see how I pull that kit together. I'm going to show you another couple of examples. I know this video is going to go on a little bit, but I really just wanted to explain my process of pulling these kits together. And then on my channel over the next, few weeks, you're actually going to, few months, you're going to see me pulling these into some form of layout. And I really want to thank everyone who, gave me really positive feedback on my tag video and my catch-up videos, saying how much they like the fact that I don't necessarily follow a kit, and I use older supplies. And for me, it's taken me a while to get there, but it's made me realise that you don't need the newest, trendiest papers. And often I'll buy the new and trendy papers, but not get round to using them until they've kind of turned into old hat, really. So I'm really kind of enjoying and kind of just sharing with you, and I really appreciate that feedback. Okay, so this again is a different kit entirely, and again it's a real mixture of papers that are in my stash. So this first paper is from Tim & Beck. This came from a Studio Calico kit. I love this piece of paper. It's really beautiful. I picked it out for this side. I have done a layout with this side. This is very reminiscent of like a sassafras paper, but I've done a layout with this side, so I don't think I want to do another layout necessarily using this side. So I've pulled it for the purpose of this kit for this side. As I said, some of these papers are ranging like back to 2011, so they're not brand spanking new. This piece is 2012, and this is an October afternoon paper, and I, as a rule, I'm not a fan of October afternoon. The reason I pulled this is I do like this kind of text print. It is again a cream, which is going to kind of work in with the creams that are in here. There is again this side, which could work. I don't know. I'm not overly a fan of this side of the text print, but I think that this would make a really good kind of background or a photo mat or something. Then mixing it up completely, I've got some 2013 glitz paper, and I love this collection. This is from the Wild and Free. Is it Wild and Free? Yeah, Wild and Free collection. I love this collection, and I love these kind of, it's picking out the pink tones in here, but it's also got some of these blues coming through. There is a white base side to this with the arrows. And you will see that I have also pulled another couple of white base bits that could possibly be used here. But I really pulled it for this side. And as you can see, this kit would definitely lend itself to maybe some more kind of like artsy layouts, more kind of mixed media pieces. This piece of paper is from 2010. It's really old. It's from the 72 and Sunny collection from We Are Memory Keepers, and it's a really nice kind of distressed polka dot, like two-tone polka dot here, and I love this piece of paper. Again, I originally have saved it for this side because I've always had the idea of doing a layout, because there's an alphabet, A is for, B is for, C is for, etc. And that is kind of what I kept it for. Looking at this, it could work in because of the colours, but I think I've had this in my stash now for 5 years, and this is no longer really my style, but I really like this colour, and this would make a great background to kind of build some mixed media on. So loving these colours together so far. This piece of paper again is a Wild and Free paper, and I love this piece of paper. I actually used that Life acetate on here. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know the one I'm talking about. And I love this piece of paper with just the drips and the purple, and oh, I love it. Do note this is on a white base, but I think you can mix it in with these other ones because there's enough of this drip effect. And of course, I think I used it this way last time, but of course I could use it that way and get a completely different theme here. I just love it that way actually. I really like that. On the back I've got this black and white, which totally doesn't work with this collection of papers I put together, so it would definitely be to use this side. And because I've got the purples and like the greys in here, that would work really well with this as well. Totally then going a little bit left field is this Echo part paper from Everyday Eclectic. I'm not sure, this is 2012, and this I brought the collection pack of this, and I always have problems using photorealistic paper, but to me I've kind of thought this will make a perfect background paper because it's kind of almost like Instagram filters have been over it. It kind of makes it quite purpley, so it's going to kind of pull in the purple here, and also these colours, because it's also kind of quite beachy and kind of got reds in it. That would work really well. But it also has this cameras, which are kind of vintage cameras on white, so I could pull that in. But when I was pulling this kit together, I thought, this piece of paper I nearly chucked out, and I'm like, no, I'm going to give it one more go. I'm going to try and add it into a kit. I then have this piece of paper from the Jilly Bean Soup Social Soup. Again, it's orange, it's very similar in tone to this. Or there is this side, which could possibly work if I wanted to go on a kind of like angular kind of look, but I really pulled it for this. Again, I brought a collection pack of this, and these are a few pieces I had left. This is another bit from the Social Soup collection, and this is kind of a red with little poppy people on, but these are both cream based backgrounds, so that would work really well. And I've got this pie chart thing on the back, which I love, but again I'm not going to use because just not. So I pulled this side, so as you can see, other than this kind of piece of paper, and actually if I turn it that way, maybe that makes it kind of a bit better to read, that this is kind of like the tones that I'm going for within this. I then did pull out a few bits of cardstock for this, because again I knew that I would probably go mixed media with this, so I would want to use some kind of stronger kits of cardstock. This is a piece of the Brazil, I think it's like more of a glitz one. This is called Blank Check, but it's kind of got, I don't know if it's going to show, it's got a slight luster to it, so I thought that would be a great contrast if I was going to do some mixed media. I then got just kind of quite a thick kind of grey, not grey, cream cardstock. And then I pulled some yellow and orange because I thought I may want to mount my photos up to make it stand out against these papers. So here you can see a completely different colour tone of papers, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 texture, 8 pattern papers, and then I have 4 pieces of cardstock. So again, I'd probably get 3 layouts out of this before I had to look at mixing some other bits in. So that is that one. I do have just one more to share with you. Again, I hope this is kind of just helping you understand my brain and how I kind of thought when I put these kits together. What I would say is I keep all of my embellishments together. So all of my letter stickers are together, my thickers are together. I have like these little tubs where I separate my embellishment packs into, and I'd have these I'd just chuck all of these in a bag if I was going to go and craft somewhere. So I don't put embellishments in this. Unlike that first kit where I had actually put some embellishments in it because I was setting out to make a kit to crop. These are just how I'm storing my papers from now on, which is in kits. Okay, so this is a newer piece of paper, and this is from the Wanderlust collection from Heidi Swap. And again, I really like the navy in this. It's a really nice, but I kind of like these kind of terracottas. And what I've also added into this collection now, I've actually added this paper pad, which is a 5x7 paper pad. And it's got a whole different bunch of patterns in. Of course, it's got this one in as well. But I'll kind of show you how that would probably work with the layouts. But that would be included in the kit bag as well. I have this piece from Old Darling, which is a cream base, and that is a music print. Again, you could also pull this pink side in if you wanted as well. And again, that is from 2013. This is a piece of Webster's Pages Alison Kreft paper from, I don't know, a time ago. And I really like this. It's a wood grain with teal and cream on top, which says today. And this just works perfectly in with those other colours. There is this on the other side which just would not work at all. So that is the one that I would bring in. These are just a couple of basic grey papers, and again this is just a teal. There is also yellow in here, but I pulled it out for the teal. And these are slightly thinner papers, but you know, there's nothing wrong with them, they would still work absolutely fine. Again, this is a piece of newsprint. Again, I'm just loving that kind of versatility of that. This side has this red sort of terracotta in, which could pull out, as you can see. I mean, this is an older paper, and this is a brand new one, but these tones work perfectly together. So I could almost see myself cutting this one down as a background and mounting it on this piece of paper. So I think they would work perfect. So, and then again, I'm just kind of thinking, I kind of think backgrounds, layers when I'm pulling these kits together. This is just an arrow piece. I believe this is a Dear Lizzie piece, which came from a collection pack, a paper pack. So I love that. Again, you've got the cream tones. This one, of course, is slightly more white, but that's fine. I think that would work. This is Simple Stories, the Homespun collection, I believe. I really love these hearts. This kind of takes it off in a little bit of another direction, but this kind of red matches with this red. The teals and the blues do work with some of the teals and blues in here, and this pink pulls out the pink from this heart. This has a yellow gingham on the background, so I probably wouldn't use that side, but would pull that in. And if I was to use this, I may use this as a background paper and then pull these other colours in. This is from the same collection, and this is got these florals that could be cut out and added to it, or it has this side which has kind of large blocks, so I thought I could bring in the black here to pull out the black here, or could possibly use this large design as well. But this again is taking it in a slightly different direction, but I do like how the teals could easily work with this as well. And then also from that collection is this sort of cut apart piece. And for me, the first thing when I kind of looked at this, I thought, okay, this love would be perfectly cut out, mounted on this paper with this one. The red could be picked up. You could cut this banner piece out. You could use the heart strip. So I'm kind of thinking we're in. And again, these of course were pulled all from the same collection. I then just added in a few pieces of cardstock here, and again this is a little bit of a mix of cardstock. There is 2 pieces of cream and 2 colours, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of pattern paper, and then these are 2 slightly different creams, a dark kind of bluey grey, and then this pink. So that is another kit, and then as I said, if you just sort of see me laying this across, you could see how this could add in and work as well, because this kind of very muted tones could pull in this burlap look. Or again, you've got these florals that could work in with the cream, and then maybe some of this teal. So again, this again would pull out the reds and things from the other ones. So I hope you can kind of see how I would pull these kits together. I am going to sort of aim to kind of make some layouts, or even if I don't do this when I'm on video, I'm going to aim to sort of, you know, come back to these kits and show you how I've created something with them. I do just store them in the bags. Let me... Oh, everything's about to fall down. Sorry guys. I do just keep all these bags that like the kits come in. These kind of larger bags, and this will just all just sit in a bag, and it just sits up on my shelf where they all sit. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys that asked about how I put a kit together. I know it's gone on a little bit, but I really just wanted to make sure I explained the process thoroughly enough that hopefully you can go and look through your stash and make you know, make some kits of your own. And bear in mind, you know, this is a new collection from this year, these two pieces, and then I've got bits in here going back to like 2011, 2010. So don't be afraid to like mix and match your stash and kind of go from there, because when you put the final layout together, it's not really going to matter that there's a new and an old paper on there. And as I said before, I'm going to try and get through my cardstock. I have like hundreds of sheets of cardstock, and I'm loath to get rid of it because it's always going to come in useful, whether it's for card bases or actually just for double mounting layouts. So I hope this has been useful to you. If you do have any questions or anything, then do just leave a comment below, and I will try and get back to you as quickly as I can. I'm a little bit lax on getting back to people on questions and stuff like that, but please do rest assured I will get back to you as well. So that is it for my kit video, and I want to thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye!